We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to even.
A retired LAPD detective says he has solved the murder of rapper Tupac Shakur, who was gunned down in Las Vegas nearly 20 years ago.
Because we killing ourselves. We not when another man. I know I've been in a position. It's out of our control. It's not like he wants to kill. He just doesn't want to die.
More than 13 shots hit the black car in Vegas that night. Later, when Suge Knight and Tupac left the boxing match, 6 days after, one of the greatest rappers was no longer alive. 6 months afterward, a famous rapper from the East Coast, Biggie Smalls, had a similar fate. But it happened in LA. And even now, in 1997, there is still a lot of mystery around the passing of Tupac and Biggie. Nobody officially found out who did it. However, Suge Knight, who used to run a record company called Death Row, finally spoke from prison and shared some information that might help solve the mystery. So, what did Suge say about Tupac's demise? That's what we're going to find out today. But of course, before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now, let's dive in.
Tupac, the public is naive to a lot of stuff. There was a plan already to do something to him. They were trying to kill me too. Orlando wasn't even the shooter, you know?
Rapper and actor Tupac Shakur had faced many troubles, passed away at 25 years old. This happened shortly after he got shot 4 times the previous Saturday night in Las Vegas. To understand the story of Biggie Smalls and Tupac and how their rivalry ended, we need some background information. First, there was a big conflict between the hip-hop scenes on the East and West Coasts during the 90s. Then we have to talk about the role of Suge Knight. The rivalry between the East Coast and West Coast hip-hop communities started in the early 1990s and got more intense as the decade went on. Record labels and the media played a big part in this rivalry because they wanted to sell more music and get higher ratings. But it wasn't just about business. Some artists and their friends also had personal problems with each other. This was the case with Tupac and Biggie. The feud between the East and West Coast hip-hop communities was a significant part of the music scene in the 1990s. It reached its most dangerous point in the mid-1990s when Tupac and the notorious B.I.G. tragically lost their lives.
Talking about the arrest in the Tupac Shakur murder case, and it ties to another rapper's murder. It's our top story here at 5. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm David Charnes in for Brian tonight. Greg Kading working to solve the murder of the notorious B.I.G.
Marion Suge Knight played a significant role in the West Coast hip-hop scene during that time. He co-founded Death Row Records, which was one of the most successful and influential hip-hop record labels in the 1990s. Knight was known for his aggressive business tactics and for being associated with gang members and other criminals. However, his involvement in the feud had its controversies, as he was linked to several high-profile incidents that contributed to the negative image of hip-hop in the mainstream media. Suge Knight, the co-founder of Death Row Records, had a notorious reputation in the hip-hop industry because of his criminal history and alleged connections to the passing of 2 of the biggest names in rap history, Tupac and notorious B.I.G. He had previously been part of the Los Angeles gang scene and founded Death Row Records in 1991 alongside Dr. Dre, quickly making it one of the industry's most successful labels. However, his criminal past caught up with him, leading to multiple arrests and charges, ranging from assault to racketeering. In 1996, Tupac Shakur was tragically shot and assassinated in Las Vegas, and rumors began circulating immediately that Suge might have been himself involved in the assassination. Tupac himself had accused Suge of plotting to assassinate him. Some people believe that Knight might have orchestrated the shooting as part of a larger feud between East and West Coast rappers. The following year, notorious B.I.G. also lost his life in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles. Once again, Suge Knight was rumored to have a connection to the shooting. Besides the ongoing feud between B.I.G. and Tupac, Suge had reportedly threatened B.I.G. in the past. Despite Suge's denials of any involvement in the crimes, many people remain skeptical to this day.
Many people in music and Hollywood fear this guy, Diddy, as if he's untouchable, and even
Sugar Diddy.
Some folks think that Suge Knight's history of craziness and scary behavior might mean he had something to do with Tupac and Biggie's passing. Also, because he was close to both rappers, some wonder if he had a hand in their demise. People have talked about how Suge may have treated Tupac badly when he was on Death Row Records. They say Tupac only joined Death Row because Suge paid his $3 million bail, but Tupac didn't like how he was treated by Suge and the label. Because of Suge Knight's past and the suspicion about him in Tupac and Biggie's passing, he's become a very controversial figure in hip-hop. Even though Suge says he had nothing to do with the planned demise, his reputation for being violent and scary makes a lot of people doubt him. And the stories about how he treated Tupac just make things worse.
That's the information an officer has from a trustworthy source that a crime had occurred. So someone told them that there was going to be some sort of material evidence in this house.
Tupac and Biggie had a complicated relationship. At first they were friendly and even worked together on some songs. But things went bad over time, especially after Tupac got shot several times in a robbery in 1994. He thought Biggie and other East Coast rappers were behind it. In 1993, Tupac met Biggie in New York through their mutual friend DJ Mr. C. They became friends and started making music together. Tupac also met a guy named Jacques Ognant, who was known for being tough and involved in the music business. Jacques was trying to get money from New York music producers and wanted Tupac to sign with Bad Boy Records. At first, Tupac didn't trust Jacques, but later they became friends, and Tupac even mentioned him in his music. In November 1994, Tupac was asked to record at the Quad Recording Studio in New York. While he was there, he was suddenly attacked and shot several times during a robbery. Tupac survived, but he believed that Biggie and Sean Puffy Combs, the head of Bad Boy Records, were behind the attack. Tupac's anger and disbelief about what happened made him more and more hostile towards East Coast rappers.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
After Tupac got shot at the Quad Recording Studio, it had a big impact on his music and how he acted. He started to become more aggressive and confrontational in his style. He was sure that Biggie and Puffy had something to do with the attack. He even confronted them at a party and accused them of knowing about the attack beforehand. This confrontation made Tupac and Biggie's relationship really bad and added to the violence between East Coast and West Coast rappers in the mid-1990s. Tupac's anger and distrust of Biggie kept growing over the next few years, and this eventually led to the sad events of September 1996, when Tupac got shot and died in Las Vegas.
So somebody gets shot, I go to the hospital to see him, and then somebody else got killed, so I go to the funeral to see him, but the guy that went to the hospital is the guy that killed my friend I'm going to the funeral for.
In 2011, James Roseman, a former music executive, was arrested for allegedly ordering Tupac's 1994 shooting. He was accused of paying the shooters and making it look like a robbery. The actual shooter's identity remains uncertain, but many suspect it was Orlando Anderson, a Crips gang member. Roseman is now serving a life sentence for crime charges. His involvement raised questions about the East Coast-West Coast conflict. Suge Knight doubted the official story. He believed there was more to it. According to Suge, the LAPD and Reggie Wright, a former Death Row Record security chief, had a role in both Tupac and Biggie's cases. Suge thought the plan to harm Tupac was well prepared, involving skilled individuals who closely watched Tupac. He had instructed the security chief to protect Tupac, but it never happened due to Reggie's agenda. Reggie denied any links to the police despite connections between Death Row Records and ex-LAPD officers David Mack and Rafael Perez, hired as bodyguards during the East Coast-West Coast feud. Suge confirmed Reggie and Perez's friendship and their roles in the plan to harm Tupac.
And the other thing is for Biggie, son, I was in jail, like I'm in jail now. I'm quite sure the authorities know what happened.
The fact that they knew a crime was going to happen and did nothing is both disturbing and unlawful. But there's more to it. According to Suge, the same group of people played a role in both Tupac and Biggie's demise. Suge didn't mention specific names, but he hinted at a bigger conspiracy involving individuals who had close ties to both rappers. Suge's theory was that Tupac and Biggie were targeted because they were seen as being connected to each other. However, the exact individuals responsible for the assassination were never definitely identified. Detectives working on both cases have different opinions. They believe that Biggie's assassination was a result of retaliation for Tupac's passing. According to them, Suge hired a gang member named Wardell Poochie Foos to take out Biggie. Suge's comments have cast a new light on the Tupac and Biggie cases and have added fuel to the long-standing conspiracy theories surrounding their passing. Many people have questioned the official story and believe that there's more to it than what has been publicly revealed. Let us know in the comments below. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.